Hello, I'm Kenya, and I'm going to be covering Chapter 13, which is Community and Social Justice Perspectives in Counseling. And this chapter pretty much focuses on the counselor being a change agent as far as communities go, or the the client themselves and the environment they live in, the community that they're a part of, and the issues that are being faced within that community. And it's that's essential to their treatment, that you recognizing that there are certain issues that they're facing that others may not be facing, and you want to connect with them on a level where those those issues are coming from, which is within their communities. You want to focus on certain things like in rural areas there's violence, there's a lot of low economics. You want to focus on these things that are actually targeting the client and try to promote change, effective change, and being collaborative with different agencies or different organizations that can help promote change within these communities. Um, with clients, working with clients and communities, you it's 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 effective when you actually reach out to different organizations that are for communities. Um, anything, for instance, if we have a child who came into therapy or counseling because he or she is not doing well in school, or they're getting into a lot of uh, activities outside of school that is non-productive, like fighting or gang related or anything, you want to focus on why, what is going on in school. You want to reach out to the schools, the teachers, or anything that is a part of this individual, and we want to kind of pinpoint those issues as far as to what can we do to make that change. We That's another thing within working in communities. You have to be agent for change and working collaboratively with different agencies such as schools and organizations that are for the communities. Um, a few of the ethics codes mentioned in this chapter are related to the National Organization for Human Services, and one of them are human service professionals keep informed and are about current social issues that affect the client as well as the community. And that's another thing. Being an effective counselor, you need to be up to date with social issues that are affecting your client, or whatever is affecting their communities. Um, if it's something that is prominent within the community, such as gun violence or something, you wanna be aware of that. You want to know that these things are going on before you engage, or when you engage with the client, so you know that this is a prominent issue that's affecting them. So what can I do as an advocate or the effective change agent to make this adjustment to their lives so that something can be done for an effective change. Um, Another one is human service professionals provide a mechanism for identifying unmet client needs, calling attention to the needs, and assisting in planning and mobilizing to advocate for those needs at the local community level. For another example, if a client is um, they're going through hard times or something, and they need to find stability or assistance or some type of service that they need, you want to be effective in collaborating with whatever organizations or agencies that, if need be, to help this client uh, acquire those needs. Now, that's another important thing with working in the communities, like with counseling. You need to reach out. You're going to have to advocate for these clients, because that's what they're relying on you to do. They want you to be their voice. If they need something as far as assistance where they can't meet that need, they need you to be that voice to advocate for them so they can essentially get it. Um, Another one would be human service professionals advocate for the rights of all members of society, particularly those who are members of minorities and groups within discriminatory practices have historically been directed to. And again, this is primarily directed to those who live in low economic uh, environments, people who have low job incomes, and they don't make enough money to sustain a lifestyle where they don't have to ask for, you know, public assistance or needs as such. It's important that you pretty much just you recognize those people with those particular needs, and you do what we're supposed to do as counselors and advocates to acquire those things for them. Another thing mentioned in this chapter would have to be the American School Counselor Association, and this is pretty much like relating to children in these who are, say, a client who is a child and they need something, or they're just in need of counseling or whatever. You want to make sure that you reach out to the schools, because we need to know what's taking place in school, what's happening, why are they presenting these issues. It's one thing about being a counselor within the community, because you're going to have to be working closely with a lot of different agencies and a lot of different organizations to figure out what's the issue and what can we do together to kind of transform it, make it different, make these situations a little different and more sustainable for your client. I know when you work within the schools, there's a lot to consider, because you're working directly with counselors, school counselors, social workers, and different things that everyone's gonna have their hand and say in what you need, what this child needs, or what they can provide for this child. But again, that's a part of working within the community. So that was another thing within the ethics codes that was fairly interesting.